Hey guys. So, I don't know if you guys do this or not at night, but like at night, whenever I'm like laying in bed or whatever, the boys will be asleep and I'll just be kind of like have my earphones in and surfing the interwebs or getting on YouTube and watching videos and stuff. And I have been kind of coming across some videos of different creators and different addicts who are in recovery who have gotten off Suboxone or are trying to taper off Suboxone, and kind of like suggesting or giving advice to people to stay on like a low dose or to not take as much. And I just think it's so serious, you guys. Like, we have to be really careful what we say to people and how we like advise people, because like, I'm not a doctor, and I don't know your circumstance. I don't know how severe your addiction and your negative behaviors were. And I just know for me that, like, when I got out of treatment with 30 days sober, I wanted to get high so bad. And my son was in DHS custody, and I was about to lose him, and getting put on the Suboxone was it saved my life. It has given me my life back, and I've been able to get stable and create a support network and have a job and take care of my son and do all kinds of things, right? And I just think, like, the more that I work with people that are in sobriety and people that are trying to get sober and then people that are trying to stay sober, the more experience that I have working with people who are struggling, the more I realize that I really don't know shit. I really don't know shit about nothing. All I know is my experience. All I know is what has worked for me. And the only thing I can tell you guys is that if you're struggling staying sober and you are going back and forth, relapse sober, the only thing I can tell you is that I was the same way, and that's why I tried Suboxone, and I haven't relapsed in 3 years since being on Suboxone, But I'll tell you this much: be really careful when you're like talking about stuff like that, because people really, really latch on when they're in need and they're struggling to things that we say. And also, there's so much shame that is associated with medically assisted treatment because of other people judging people who have to have help. That it's just a like really rocky road. And that's why, like, I don't give advice about that. Like, you have to make that decision for you. All I know is that I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't change it. I would do the same thing I did. I don't know if I would have stayed sober without Suboxone. And that's why, it hurts my heart to see people who are maybe, led down the wrong path or, misadvised. Hey, Jason. Who are maybe, given the wrong advice, or maybe they're like making like just flat out blanket statements. There's so many people, you guys, that struggle with the disease of addiction, and we don't know like their circumstances. We don't know what kind of home life they have. That's the thing about the disease of addiction, is it doesn't discriminate. It can affect anybody, all walks of life. And then also, we don't know what people struggle with internally, mental illnesses, other diseases and illnesses, other sicknesses, that cancer or blood pressure or mental illness. There is no right way. That's the thing, you guys. There's no right way. Sobriety, recovery is a case-to-case basis. Recovery is, it's actually just yours. It's yours. There's nobody that's going to have the same way that you, there's no two people that are going to recover the same. Even in 12-step programs, there is, like, I've worked with many people who have taken me through the steps, and each sponsor that I worked with was different. Just like each person who is addicted to drugs has a different experience in their addiction. I know for me in my addiction, like, I had to relearn how to live my life without drugs and alcohol. I had to learn how to relive my life without seeking things from outside of me to make me feel good and okay. I had to learn how to live my life on life's terms, not on Nicole's terms, not on if I felt good that morning, but just on life's terms. And I think what happens is when people are, and it goes for, I've seen so many people have the same experience with either trying to get off Suboxone and struggling, and so they automatically have shit to say bad, or getting off Suboxone and then feeling so powerful or greater than. And it's like, dude, no, we're all exactly the same. We're all just trying to live. It doesn't matter if I take Suboxone. I could go out and shoot up cocaine tomorrow and die. We're all just trying to stay sober one day at a time. What's hard for me is hard for somebody just as difficult for someone else who's not on Suboxone. What I struggle with, other people struggle with that are not on Suboxone. It's like, there's not really, it's just, we never know somebody's circumstances, and it's just like, it's really irresponsible to just say, go to the doctor and only get put on 1 milligram. What? I know heroin addicts who shot 15 bags of heroin a day, and if they went to the doctor and got put on 1 milligram of Suboxone, that wouldn't even touch them. They would not even be, their cravings wouldn't even be, they would laugh at you. And then I also know people who were on very low doses of opiates, and they got put on too much Suboxone, and that fucked them up. That was not that they didn't get high, but it fucked them up, as in, it was just too much. They could have started out on a lower dose, but they didn't know, or they thought in our minds, because as drug addicts, I remember doing the same thing when I started out. I thought if the doctor prescribed me a higher milligrams more, that it would make me feel better. And that's not the case with Suboxone. It has a ceiling effect. Once you get stabilized at a dose that helps you feel comfortable and not crave, you stabilize out at that. You don't go up or down or over it or around it, So it's just really important to remember, our experiences are all going to be really super different, you guys. And I have really gotten a lot better about this over the last year, because I used to think that, I used to feel the same way. I used to think that if you were taking over 8 milligrams, then that was just way too much, and that, that was just drug seeking. And that's not, that's wrong of me to even think that. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's body metabolizes things differently. And like I said, there's so many different stressors, negative behaviors, circumstances, mental illness, all kinds of things that contribute to what is going to work for someone else that doesn't work for you. You know, the only thing I can tell you as a person who's been on Suboxone is to really get to know your doctor, really talk with him and build a relationship with him. And so that way you guys can talk about anything. And if you're struggling, you can tell him, you guys, I could go to my doctor tomorrow and say, I'm ready to taper. And you know what he would tell me? He would say, okay, let's set this up. Let's talk about it. Let's get with your counselor and let's all have a 3-way conversation. And then we would get with my counselor and we would talk and we would iron out a plan first. Because see, as an addict, I'm very I will make a snap decision. And it could be a decision that could end my life. It could be a decision that takes me back out and relapse. You know, I have also almost made decisions because I have been made fun of for being on Suboxone. And I've almost gotten off Suboxone because of people on the internet telling me I didn't need to be on it. And I'm like, that's the thing, you guys. Like, be careful. Like, don't just put shit out onto the internet. You know what I mean? Like, fucking think before you speak, man. This is people's lives that we are, like, influencing when we make these videos. And I have to remember that, like, by putting these videos out on the internet, like, I have a platform. And I have to use my platform responsibly. You know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give you guys any medical advice. I just don't want, for me on my channel, this is a no judgment zone. Nikki, I know. For me on my channel, this is a no judgment zone. You do what you got to do to stay alive. Okay? I don't want any dead addicts on my hand. I don't want any blood on my hands. You know, and that's how I feel, guys. I feel like when you're just like spewing, how do I say this without being a total bitch? When you're just spewing like one-sided shit. When you're spewing, like, if you had a bad experience with Suboxone, I am sorry, you know, but that's not the way it is for everyone else. If you know what, I'm telling everybody, this is what I tell people. I say, do your research, shop around, talk to a lot of doctors, look into many different ways, look into Suboxone, Vivitrol. There's so many different options now for substance abuse disorder treatment that you have like a plethora of things that you can do to try and get sober. But do your research. Be an educated consumer. I mean, you were educated about them drugs you were consuming, weren't you? You only got the best, right? You only got the best dope, right? I know I did. I know when I was shooting dope, I made sure it was the best dope. So if you're going to try and get sober, you got to make sure you're going to do the best thing to get sober for you. And that's the thing. It's going to be different for everybody. What works for me is not going to work for somebody else. And if you felt like you got the bad end of the deal when you went and got put on Suboxone, the only person you have to blame for that is yourself. If you were drug seeking and trying to take the easy way out when you got put on Suboxone, then who is to blame for that? You know, when I got put on Suboxone, I needed help. I didn't want to lose my son. I didn't see any other way. I had tried everything. You know, the only thing I hadn't tried is that ibogaine. And it's because I couldn't go to Mexico and do that shit. You know, but I had tried everything. And so we have to be careful as people in the recovery community. We have to remember that we have a responsibility and that our platforms, we have to use those to help people finding their way. Like, if you're struggling, man, I'm telling you, I remember being there. And don't give up. Just keep trying. Don't give up. That's all I can say. Do not give up trying to get sober. And if you're questioning, thinking like maybe I should get put on Suboxone, you know, fucking go to your doctor and talk to your doctor. Talk to many different doctors. Don't just talk to one. But you could ask 10 people that are on Suboxone, and they'll all have a different fucking opinion and a different experience. Because everyone is different. Everybody handles the medication differently. Like, you guys, all I gotta say is that now, today, I'm not dead. I'm happy. I'm thriving in my life. And I couldn't say that 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was a sick person. 3 years ago, I couldn't keep a needle out of my arm. You know, 3 years ago, I didn't have a job. 3 years ago, I didn't have a home. 3 years ago, I didn't have a car. 3 years ago, I didn't have my son. 3 years ago, I couldn't get on a video because I was too high and spun out, thought people were following me. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. So I kind of like look at it like this, like, it's a little sacrifice to make to have my life back, you know? And each day I'm working harder and harder to become, thanks Jason, to get to a point where I'm even, you know, thanks Nikki. It just makes me sad because I see so many people who are like really struggling with their recovery and struggling to get sober. And they come to us for help, you know? They come to us for guidance. And it would be such a disservice of me, you guys, if I was like, everybody needs to get on Suboxone. That's what you need to do. You know, that would be like the wrong thing, you know? Or it would be a disservice of me if I was like, everybody has to go to AA and everyone has to work the 12 steps and everyone has to have me as a sponsor. Do y'all understand? Like, that's the thing. In recovery, I have learned that I have to be responsible with my recovery. And I have to be responsible in guiding other people and trying to help them find their way. I never want to be the reason, not the reason, but I never want to be the person that influenced somebody to not give something a try. To not, you know, open up to a different treatment, you know. That's why I always tell you guys, like, there's so many different programs. There's Refuge Recovery, Smart Recovery, AA, NA, medically assisted treatment. There's just so many different things that you can do nowadays that, you know, there's just therapy. There's just so many different things that you guys can do. And I just want everyone to always remember, like, just because something didn't work for you doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. Just because you had a bad experience doesn't mean somebody else is going to. And to be really, really careful when you're, like, making videos and giving advice. Because, I mean, we have to be really careful, you guys. That's why, like, in the 12-step programs, they straight up tell you, like, they have no opinion on outside issues. The only shit they know how to deal with is alcoholism. And if you got another problem other than that, you need to consult your physician. And that's what people need to start doing now. Like, I don't know shit. Consult a doctor. You know? It's like, and that's the thing. That's that ego. Our ego is what tells us that we actually can come on here and tell somebody what to do with their life. It's like, no, honey, I don't know nothing. Call your doctor. The only thing I know is that I really like doing 12 steps and medically assisted treatment has helped me. That's all I know. It's like, come on, you guys, step back for a second. Realize, like, we don't know anything. Realize that, you know, there's no, like, one way to recover. Realize that the sooner you can admit that you don't know shit, the better off you're going to be. Right, I know, Nikki. I used to do the same thing. And I had to learn, and the reason I learned the hard way, and I know I shouldn't be drinking this, but I have to have a taste. The reason I learned the hard way was because I got kind of backed into a corner, and I was judging people, you know, and then I got to this point where I had tried everything, and for 10 years back and forth, you guys. It's not like I just tried it one time. Back and forth, relapse, for 10 years trying to get sober. And then, you know, here I am the last time, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know what to do. So we just all have to be aware. It's self-awareness. And I also believe that not everybody needs to be on the internet talking about recovery, because some people haven't tapped into that self-awareness where they realize, like, sometimes you just got to come on and say, I don't know anything, y'all. I don't know anything. And that's why I felt like I need to make this video and just kind of reestablish that. Like, I am just somebody trying to stay sober one day at a time, y'all. I'm nobody. I'm just a drug addict with 3 years sober, and I'm kind of sharing what I've been doing to stay sober. That's it. I really don't know anything. It's okay. I'm just getting to a point, you guys, where, like, I'm realizing that I see so many people. It's like so many people want to be a leader. Okay. There's too many roosters in the hen house. Anyway, not everybody can be a leader. You know what I mean? And when you're going to follow someone, you need to be careful what leaders you're choosing. Nikki, I saw some videos. I wanted to talk to you since you're in here. I do not agree with what these people... this fucking shit pisses me off on YouTube. What are these people doing, girl? I saw somebody, like, fucking put up a video. This girl named Hippie. And I thought, oh my God, why are they picking on Nikki? That's what I'm talking about. Like, that shit doesn't... Why do people do these things? Same thing. Girl, did you see the video of somebody made about me? Spliced together me eating honey buns. They said they were going to take it down. I haven't checked to see if they took it down yet. But it's like, I'm not on here to, like, be anybody's best friend. I'm not on here to... Oh, well, then that explains it. All I'm on here to do is just share with you guys what I've been doing and what works for me. But I always want you guys to know that I'm not a medical professional. Please be careful. Please take care of yourselves, okay? It makes me so sad, and it hurts my heart to see people who are afraid to get help through certain methods because so many people say shit about it. You know, like, real talk, Jason, when I taper off Suboxone, I'm not going to get on here and show videos of me being sick because, duh, I'm on an opioid. I know I'm going to be sick, you know, because I don't want people to get scared of getting the help that could help save their lives, you know. I'll come on here and I'll update you guys on how it's going, but I'm not going to badmouth this medication. It is literally given my life. You guys, like, it just makes me so upset, you know. Sure, I was willing to make changes, but I'm not sure I would have stayed sober without it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I couldn't take that chance. I hate that too, because AA is it's amazing. And Jason, I have noticed that, and I'm proud of you, because you know what? You're aware that your words can harm somebody, even if you're trying to help. The words that we speak, they carry on, especially on these YouTube videos. These videos are up for a long time afterward, you know. Hundreds of people are going to come and watch these videos. So we have to be very careful. Like, we have a responsibility. And I don't care what anybody says, it's true. We have a responsibility, you guys, and we have got to be careful what we post on the internet. And from now on, I'm just seeing it. Like, it's literally playing out in front of my eyes. I'm seeing it with other members in the recovery community here on YouTube. And I don't want to hurt somebody. You guys, it means so much to me to help people find what works for them. It is my passion in life. It is my passion to help people find their way. Ah, good deal, Nikki. He is amazing too. He is doing so good. You don't understand. You're gonna love Jason. He is the fucking shit. But you guys, I just want you to know that, like, I know what it's like to be judged. I know what it's like for people to side eye you and pick you apart for choices that you've made. But all I can say is, honey, just keep on pushing forward. Nobody knows your circumstances. Nobody knows what we've gone through. You know, and until they can come and walk in my shoes, don't talk to me about shit. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house, honey. You know what I mean? Too many people think they know shit. You know what I've learned through AA, Nikki? Is that ego is the downfall of an addict or an alcoholic. When I think that I know more than God and more than the program knows, then that's when I've got it twisted and I need to take a step back. And you know what happens when we make these videos? These videos feed your ego. Especially when you got a little audience and people are cheering you on, people are commenting, people are looking forward to your videos, people are emailing you and messaging you on DMs. Oh, you're so great, you're helping me. No, baby doll, I'm not helping you. God is working through me. I'm only carrying the message that's worked for me. I'm just a messenger. I'm not saving nobody's life. I'm not doing it. First of all, you're doing the work, okay? That's first of all. Second of all, there's a power greater than me that's working through me to deliver these messages to other people. I'm just the messenger. I'm nobody, you guys. Hey, girl. Hey, Classy B. I'm nobody. I'm just the messenger. I don't have the power to save anybody, okay? I'm just a regular girl. I'm trying to save me, okay? I just want you guys to come along for the ride. And if you learn a few things on the way, that's what's up. But I'm just a regular girl, and I'm just trying to live. I don't want to die, y'all. I do not want to die. And that's why we got to be really careful when we're talking about, you know, different treatments and different ways to recovery. You got to remember, you guys, like, not everybody is in the same place we are in their recovery. Not everybody is, you know, through using. There's some people that we know that are going to relapse and that are going to struggle and that are going to go back out. And you know what it is my job as a recovering addict to do? My job as a recovering addict is to be here to love you when you cannot love yourself. My job is to be here with open arms when you decide to return and come back and try again. That's my job. My job isn't to tell you what doctors to go to or where to get on Suboxone or how to work this. My job is to share with you and to be here to love you and to help you. That's my job, you know, to carry the message. We got to remember our place. You know, I'm not God. I'm just one of the foot soldiers. I'm down here on the front lines, you know. Okay, Nikki. Love you, girl. I'm just a warrior, y'all. Like Jason says, I'm here fighting the war, okay? I'm not the king. I'm not the queen. Nothing like that, y'all. I'm just here fighting the good fight with y'all, okay? So, if anybody sees this video that maybe, you know, you haven't tapped into a power greater than yourself, okay? Maybe you haven't. First of all, if you're sober and you haven't picked somebody to be your mentor, accountability partner, or sponsor, you need to do that. You need to stop making decisions on your own will, and you need to start giving your will over something greater than yourself. And you need help and direction in your life. Because us addicts, we're selfish and self-centered by nature. When left to our own devices, oh shit, we'll be fucking some shit up. And we're running around here trying to fix everything, trying to do everything through control. And that's the thing, you guys. That's not how you fix things. Not by controlling them. You're not controlling your addiction. No, that's not how that works. You know, you turn over your life every day and you make a conscious decision to live your life today and not, you know, like today I wake up in the morning and I say, today I'm going to live in my recovery. Today, God guide me in my life and show me how to live clean today. All right? Like, I don't have any magic answer. I don't have any, like, all I'm doing is being mindful, connecting with a power greater than myself, fellowshipping with other recovering addicts and alcoholics, and doing service work, and looking at my own behaviors and calling myself out and having people help me stay on track. I'm going to bed too. My throat is killing me, but I had to make that video. That's right. And that's the thing. Nobody can keep you clean, girl. Like, even Suboxone. That's why that makes me so mad when people are like, oh, you're staying sober because you're on Suboxone. You could go and relapse today, girl. It's your willingness to change. And I absolutely agree with that. No human power is going to relieve you of your alcoholism or your addiction. No human power. Do you hear that? So that means a power greater than you has to help you. That's why we have to tap in to our higher power, which mine is God. Okay? And I give my life over to God. Every morning I wake up, I say, guide me today. Guide me today. That's what I have to do, you guys, to stay clean. That's what I have to do to stay away from dope. That's what I have to do to stay away from my meth buddies. You know, I have to ask God to help me daily. But nobody can get you clean. You're right. No one. It doesn't matter if you have the best sponsor in the whole wide world or the best accountability in the whole wide world. If you're not, like, talking to them and reaching out to them and building a foundation, first of all, I mean, then why do you have them? Second of all, if it really came down to it, you could go out and use, even if you do have those things. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about changing our thinking and our behaviors and getting connected to God. Like you said, classy bitch, I'm telling you, girl, like, we got far away from God when we were in our addiction and we turned our backs to him. But the whole time he was there. The whole time he was there, making sure that we stayed alive. I could cry just thinking about it. You know, when Nate was born, God saved my life. You know, he gave me my son and delivered him clean and sober. And I shouldn't have even gotten the chance to have him. He's a blessing. And God was chasing me. Come on, Nicole, you got to do this. You got to do this. Get sober. Giving me every chance he could give me. And what did I do? Every chance that he would give me, I would spit in his face. And, you know, and it took him taking the thing that was the most important to me away from me for me to get my life back. And that's what it is. Like, when we get connected back to our higher power, it's like we never left. And that's the thing. His arms, like you say, were open the whole time waiting for us, you know, and we just had to find our way back. Because when we're in our addiction, we're lost and we're broken, you know, and now what he's doing through our recovery is he's helping us repair ourselves and grow and get better and get stronger, you know. But we have to remember that, like I was saying earlier, that we are just babies, newborn babies, you guys. And we don't know anything. And not to let our egos and our pride take control. Because at the end of the day, we really don't know shit. We just got to take it one day at a time. So, I love you guys. I'm going to go to bed. And I'm going to take some, like, throat medicine. Because my throat hurts really bad. Anyway, I love you, girl. I love you guys so much. Call me later. Call me tomorrow, Classy B, okay? All right, girl. Love you.